Morning. The mind. A man's purpose is to be a visionary, a leader, a teacher, a provider, a cultivator, right? Because when you cultivate something, you make that something around you grow, you make that something around you multiply, and you make that something around you flourish to its full essence. And that's why I say it's very vital that we have to understand our purpose on this world and in this life. And as I read in Matthew 25 and verse 21, Lord, have your way. Just let your spirit flow through me, Lord. As I read Matthew chapter 25, verse 21, it was talking about the talents, right? And it was just so powerful because God really wants us to have more than what we have. He wants us to have more than enough. He wants us to be a lender and not have to be a borrower. So I'm real sensitive to the spirit right now because God really wants us to have more than enough, but we have to know who we are in our mind. And we have to understand that whatever God gives us, right? Because he wants us to have dominion. He wants us to rule over the things that he gives us. But we have to multiply what he gave us. Because if we don't multiply what he gave us, we are wicked and slothful. We would be called lazy, right? And not only that, if God gives you a talent, he gives you a talent, a vision, an idea, he's tapping on your shoulder and he's telling you, hey, do this, because I have a purpose in this doing for you. But if we don't move forward and take initiative, God will give, right? He will take away your talent and he will give that to somebody else that will know how to multiply. And how do I know that? Because he said it in his word. He said it in Matthew chapter 25, verse 21, right? Listen, it says, it's about the talents, right? Listen, I want y'all to listen carefully, right? This Matthew chapter 25, verse 15, it says, to one, he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. So he gave 3 people 5 talents. He gave one of them 5 talents. He gave the second one 2 talents, and he gave the third one 1 talent according to his ability. Then he went away, so he gave them talents. He went away because he's analyzing and seeing, will they be fruitful? Because our purpose in this world is to have dominion, which is to rule over our assignment, to be fruitful and multiply. So that's why he went away. Now, since he went away, now you have to do your research. That's why I say it's good to read books. It's good to feed your spirit. It's good to feed your mind because you need the wisdom. You need the knowledge in order for you to multiply your given talents using your abilities, right? Then verse 16, listen, verse 16, this is so powerful. Verse 16, he says, he who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them and made 5 talents more. So the man that God gave 5 talents, right? He went away and made 5 more talents. So he multiplied. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So therefore God gave him 5 and he went and made 5 more. So now he got 10 talents, right? Oh, this is so powerful. So he also, in verse 17 says, so also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. He multiplied, he's being fruitful, he's cultivating his talents, so he's making more talents. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. But verse 19 says, now after a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. Verse 20 says, and he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing his 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. What did he do? He cultivated his abilities. He multiplied. He's being fruitful. He's having dominion. So now he's like, hey, master, you gave me 5 talents. I went and multiplied and gave you 5 more talents. So now I have 10, right? Then after he said that, his master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. If you want to be a good and faithful servant, multiply the given talents that God has given you. He said, good and faithful servant. Good and faithful servant. Just by having the mindset of using what God gave me to multiply, to have dominion, to be fruitful, to cultivate it and grow it. He also says, I will set you over much into the joy of your master. Verse 22. And I'm reading from the Bible now. Verse 22. Verse 22. And also he had the 2 talents. Now this is the guy with the 2 talents. He who had the 2 talents came forward saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 more talents. His master said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little, I will set you over much. So if you be faithful over little, God will give you more. He will give you more. He will give you more. He will give you more. God wants us to have more than enough. He also who had received the 1 talent came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be hard man, reaping where you do not sow and gathering where you scatter no seed. So I was afraid and I went and hid your talent. Here you have what is yours. And his master answered, you wicked and slothful servant. I used to be that. I used to be afraid, right? And that's why I said a lot of times, you know, we've been programmed in our mind to believe we will fail at something by not even attempting to try it. The dude that had the 1 talent, he said, I was afraid. I knew you was hard, Father. So I hid your treasure that you gave me. I hid it. And he said, you are slothful, you are wicked. Do not be afraid. We cannot be afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. But be strong. Be confident, y'all. Be confident. Listen, I'm going to skip down to verse 28. Now, this is the guy who had 1 talent, and he did not multiply that 1 talent, right? Why he didn't multiply that 1 talent? Because he said, I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. And he also said, I knew you to be a hard man. I knew you to be a hard man. People that is hard on y'all, people that is hard on you in life, they see things in you that you don't see in yourself. You know, I was telling my little sister that yesterday. She was like, oh, my coach is hard on me and this and that. It's because sometimes in life, they see things in us that we don't see in ourselves. So it's good to have somebody that's hard on you. It's good to have someone that's pushing you to do better. It's good to have someone that's holding you accountable. It's not the fact that they know it all. It's just because they have it. They have an experience and they see something in you that you don't see yourself, you know? So that's a good thing. Listen, but in verse 28, it says, so listen. It says, so take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have in abundance. So God took away the fella that had 1 talent and gave it to the dude that started off with 5 talents, and he ended up multiplying his 5 talents to 10 talents. In other words, if you don't cultivate your talent, you don't multiply your talent, and you don't know your purpose, and you don't have dominion over your assignment, God will take that talent away, right? And give it to someone else so they can have more abundance. I'm telling y'all, God wants us to have more abundance. And speaking for me, speaking for myself, y'all, I'm gonna be very transparent. I woke up this morning and the Spirit just hit me. Boom. You're getting too comfortable. You're getting too comfortable, son. I was like, dang, I'm getting too comfortable. And the more I meditate, the more I did self-inventory, I was like, yeah, you're not lying. And I realized sometimes, like, God would give us, like, I got a business going on, and it's growing, don't get me wrong, but God was like, you just getting started. I have more for you. You can't get complacent. You can't get comfortable, right? And sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. And I was just like, out, that hit me. So God is chastising me. He's forming me. He's building me. He's just speaking to me, right? But I'm here to say, y'all, multiply your talents, have dominion, know your purpose, feed your mind, right? And treat people, right? I feel like wealth is all about connections. It's always about the people you connect with, and it's always about how you treat people. Because as I was reading, it says, in verse 24, it says, this is talking about the goats and the sheep. You know how God was saying he would separate the goats and the sheep. The sheep on the right will be the ones that go into heaven. The people on the left, not the people, the goats on the left, will depart from God. And I'm going to tell you why. So, and you want to be the sheep on the right. You want to be on the right. You don't want to be on the left, right? I'm going to tell you why. Because this Matthew chapter 25, verse 34, it says, before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, because the Bible is about a king. God is a king. Then the king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you. So God already has everything prepared for you, right? And it says from the foundation of the world. So how do you inherit it in the kingdom of God? By the foundation of the world. In other words, bring God's heavenly culture to this physical world. It says, that's what it says in verse 34. It says, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. So you have to represent God's culture on this heavenly world by multiplying, by being fruitful, by treating others, right? And I'm going to get down to that. Verse 35. And I'm going to tell you why God told the goats to depart. In verse 35, it says, for I was hungry and you gave me food. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me. Then the righteous will answer him, saying, Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? Right? He also, in verse 38 says, and when did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? And verse 40 says, and the king will answer them, truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me. Then he will say to those on his left, depart from me, you cursed. For I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me. Then he will answer to them, saying, truly I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me. So you walk by all these people in this world. You see homeless people. You see people that need food. You see people that need something to drink. You see people that need clothing. And God gave you the resources. He gave you the money, the resources. He's teaching you how to manage it, so you can be a blessing to the people that is in need, right? So are you the sheep that's on the right? Are you the sheep that's on the left? I mean, not the sheep on the left. Are you the goat that's on the left? And you have to give. In order for you to have more in life, you have to give. That's the whole principle behind this. You walk by people every day. Children of God, son of God. And as you do to them, you're doing it to God. And that changed my whole perspective. That made me want to give more, because Lord, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it to you, Father. So bless me every day. Bless me each and every day, Lord. Give me your daily bread so I can have the money, so I can have the resources to give to the people that is in need, Lord. Not to hide it and be like the dude that had one talent and bury it. No, I want to multiply. I want to have abundance so I can give to the people that's in need. I want to land and not be a borrower, Lord. Right? So y'all stay blessed, man. And that was just on my spirit to drop. I was not going to make a video today, but the spirit was just, it was in me, man. Y'all be blessed.